welcome to Sarah's Allotment Life. You have probably stumbled across this channel because you're interested in an allotment or gardening or growing your own vegetables or homesteading, and that's absolutely fine. But just a warning, I've only had this allotment for 4 weeks, so I am very much learning, and this is not going to be a channel on how to do things. It's going to be a channel on watching me do things and watching me learn from my mistakes. I'm very, very much new to growing vegetables, gardening in general. I've never really had an interest in it until the last 12 to 18 months. And yeah, here I am with my own allotment. So this is episode 1 of many, many episodes, I'm hoping. I'm not going to bore you to death completely in the first episode because I do want you to come back and watch more. But just to give you a bit of a run through of my allotment and what's in my beds. So you might see that over there are the exact same raised beds, the exact same square sizes, everything. But unfortunately, they are not mine. That is a separate plot. Bit of a fun fact for you. So if I just turn my camera around ever so slightly. So we have 4 squares here, which is someone else's allotment. That is allotment 1A. And then we have my squares here, which are the same 4 squares, but this is 1B. And probably about 15 years ago, apparently, the local infant school to where I live, this was their allotment. And every square represented a class in each year. So there's 8 squares. There was 4 years and 2 classes per year. So eight classes. I find that really cute. I thought that was really, really cute. But anyway, so these are my 4 raised beds. And although I've had the allotment for 4 weeks and I've only just restarted this YouTube channel, I have been making a start on a few things. And don't get me wrong, there are a few things that need amending and rebuilding, let's put it that way. But I have been documenting everything. So you'll see bits and bobs of what it used to look like to what it looks now. Let me just give you a quick insight into what's where at the moment. So over there, we are growing the tomatoes and red cabbage. And we've also got onions, we've got spring onions, brown onions, and we've got lettuces as well underneath the freeze blanket thing that's there. All of that needs redoing because it is very temperamental. But that is in what's raised bed 1, as I call it. Raised bed 2 are our potatoes. And then we've got the big canes there, which we will be putting our runner beans on. Then if we come down to, I keep swapping sides, let me go back to this side. Then if we look at this section here, so what I like to do is like, I get wood and I just board it out, section it out. So there we have, I haven't put any signs on it, but we have got broccoli sown directly into the ground because that's what the instructions said. And then over in this bed here, we've got a ChatGPT. You'll see me use ChatGPT a lot. But ChatGPT told me that this is an apple tree, so I'm very excited for that. We've got some rhubarb, we've got some raspberry, and we've got blackberry over there, and then we've got random strawberry plants as well dotted around the raised bed as well. So this, as you can imagine, is a fruit bed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let everything grow a little bit because I don't want to squash anything that's, new shoots down. And then I'm going to put some cardboard on it, and then I've got some mulch over in that white bag over there. So I'm going to mulch it all and make it look a little bit prettier than what it actually is at the moment, because this is bugging me. And then we've got some more strawberries over here as well in the tyres. So that is really exciting. So as you see, there is still a lot to do, a hell of a lot to do. I want to do the paths. That is bottom of the list at the moment. I need to do the fruit bed. I've been working on this corner over here as well, and that's going to be my compost corner, hopefully. I've got my pallets over here, so that's going to be used for the compost corner. when eventually it stops being so windy like it is today, because my original plan was to put up the pop-up greenhouse. I was going to sort all of this bit out here, and just underneath here are some slabs already laid. So I was going to put a greenhouse, excuse me, I was going to put a greenhouse there. However, as you can see, it is rather windy and I don't particularly fancy a fight. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and rebuild some of these here. That's probably going to be a disaster in itself as well. This wind is very deceiving. That is so wobbly. I apologise to everybody for if you're going to get vertigo. I don't accept any claims or blames. But what I think I'm going to do first is try and fix this. It's seen better days. I personally think it needs to be shorter. And now I'm doubting myself because it's so windy. I really think I'm going to struggle trying to put that fleece back on. And if you haven't already heard, I do live right next to Birmingham Airport, so I'm sorry as well. But you're going to hear a lot of planes. Now, I think I'm going to change my mind again. I know, I'm going to clear all this bit, I think. I'm going to clear all this bit. You'll learn about me is I do everything cheap or free. If I have to buy something, it's because I desperately need it. Oh my God. I don't think I'm going to be able to fold this up. So, not properly anyway. Time for another sip of coffee. That was hard work. So I'm really annoyed with myself because I have just cleared this whole slabbed area, as you saw from that previous clip. And I've actually been sat here talking to myself because my phone wasn't on record. Rookie mistake number one, always check that your phone is recording. So I have cleared this whole section and grafted, got rid of stingers, got stung on my arms. I'm sure I asked a couple of questions. And none of you heard of it. None of you heard it. All you need to know was that it was graft. It was window. There's some very dark clouds coming over this way. I've now prepared the area for my greenhouse. It's not a special greenhouse. I'd love an actual greenhouse. I'd love a polytunnel on here. However, my allotment isn't that big to have a polytunnel on here. It's really windy. Really windy. I'm really cringe at myself for saying this, but here we go. If you haven't already, please like, follow and subscribe. I aim to be doing videos at least every week. So until the next time, on a less windy day, happy plotting.